Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so sorry, this video was meant to come out yesterday, but I had some unfortunate news. My neighbour had been going up in a cherry picker on his roof to do some painting and just happened to spot over the top of the roof that we had several holes in ours. I don't know what it's been like where you live in the UK at the moment, but we've had some horrendous downpours. So I've had to have some roofers come out at short notice who have been banging and bashing and cracking. But now, no more holes, fingers crossed. But now that I can get back to it, we've got to talk about the state visit, the bada bing, bada boom. I mean, come on. We've already had Catherine in a gold dress, which blew our brains apart, and she's done it to us again. But I'm not going to start halfway through, I'm going to start at the very beginning. Because I tell you what, from the moment that the President and the First Lady touched down, it has been a bit of a fashion show, but also it has shown that the royals have really rolled out a rather sparkly red carpet for the President and the First Lady yet again. Now, please remember, because this does involve, obviously, the President of the United States, and I know some of you are not his biggest fan, if we can just take away from the fact his political views at the moment, and we're just going to talk about this on the basis that this is the current President and the First Lady and the royals. So please don't start attacking each other for your political views in the comments. It's not nice, and I think in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk, I think everybody should remember it's okay to have different views. We don't always have to agree, but I think the world needs to seriously have a hard look at itself and stop being so nasty to each other when we do not agree with each other. But on that note, let's get on to this rather epic state visit. We had it all, from laughter to epic toasts, hats to tiaras, doll houses to squirrels. From the moment that they arrived in the United Kingdom, it was all hands on deck for this historical second state visit to the UK. No other US president throughout history has had the royal red carpet rolled out for them twice. Now, the mainstream media tried to downplay it straight away, and they had their knives sharpened for every touch, for every turn. Anything that the president did, they were ready and waiting to write an article saying about someone breached protocols. He touched Prince William's arm. Oh no, let me clutch my... Oh no, wait, I'm not wearing pearls today. It was nothing more than a friendly gesture, a little pat on the arm as he shook hands with him, bearing in mind that the two men did meet in December last year in Paris, but anybody would think that he gave him a love tap on his bottom. The Prince and Princess of Wales even used a photograph of that particular moment on their social media posts. So obviously they really didn't have a problem with it. Another push that they tried to do was President Trump pushed in front of the king. You saw people furiously typing on social media. He didn't push in front of the king. The king actually invited him to go forward, because the Queen used to do that with her guests as well, but you didn't have as many people angrily going on about it when President Macron was visiting. And you can see quite clearly here, the King has his hand on the President's back and is guiding him. Now, the Prince and Princess of Wales were given the honour of meeting the First Lady and the President off of their aircraft, and Catherine looked truly beautiful, as she always does, in a burgundy Amelia Wickstead coat dress. I loved the flirty netting on her hat. It was a Jane Taylor hat, and I thought it was really very pretty, and I think the President thought so as well. But not as a rival, but as an equal in the fashion world was the First Lady Melania, who looked incredibly stylish in a beautiful tailored Dior two-piece and a wide-brimmed plum hat. She looked so very classy and pretty as she came past in one of the carriages. The Prince and Princess escorted the President and the First Lady for their official meet and greet with the King and Queen Camilla. They then had a carriage procession around the Windsor estate and then took their places for a ceremonial welcome, which include performances by a military band made up of the Grenadier, the Scots and the Coldstream Guards, who performed both national anthems. After the king guided the president to take an inspection of the guards and honour which is always given to visiting heads of state, they then relocated to inside the castle drawing rooms where selected items that relate to the United States were laid out in various displays for not just the president but also the whole of the US delegation to tour around, to have a bit of a nose about alongside the Prince and Princess of Wales. Anything from letters to trinkets to historical items. After spending time exploring the various displays and items that had been laid out, the President and the First Lady took a private visit to Windsor Chapel and they laid a wreath on Queen Elizabeth II's tomb, of who they had both met on their first state visit. The President has always spoken so fondly of his time with the Queen, and I'm now certain more than ever, seeing the way that mainstream media has behaved more recently over Prince William and various other subjects to do with the royal family, I now realise that a lot of the stuff that they printed back then, I don't think it was even true. I think that a lot of the stuff that came out that said that Queen Elizabeth said she didn't like Trump, she didn't like this. I mean, she's met people, real tyrants throughout her entire life. And whenever has any details like that ever been leaked? She was a very, very private woman, and she handled it in such a way that I think even if she despised you, she wouldn't let you know it. And I don't think that she would have had it leaked to someone inside her inner sanctum, her inner circle, that would have been given permission to run to the media. And I'd imagine if she did tell someone something and it ended up in the media, she would have known exactly who it was. After the presidential couple had paid a visit to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth, they were then treated to a performance by the chapel choir, and they were then taken to the east lawns of Windsor Castle to watch another military musical performance, which also saw a fly past by the incredible red arrows, much to the delights, I'd imagine, of a lot of the tourists that were currently visiting Windsor at the time. The king looked to be in great spirits throughout and was often spotted laughing away with the president. Now, later that evening, the moments that royal watchers had all been chomping at the bit for ever since we knew that there would be another state visit, because it wasn't that long ago we had this. So I don't know about you guys, but I was super excited to see what would Catherine be wearing this time, and I was not disappointed. Wow, I mean, honestly, loads of people erupted over social media. I mean, she looked incredible. She looked a cross between a type of a goddess, didn't she? I would say a Knights of the Round Table sort of legend. She looked incredible. She looked more regal than the Queen herself. She looked like a Disney princess, with many people saying with her gorgeous hair at the back, which was cascading down in like mermaid waves. All of the royal ladies bought their dress A game, which they naturally do, but so did the US ladies as well. The Secretary of State's wife, I think her name is Jeanette, she looked lovely, as did Tiffany Trump. I love the colour of her dress. Now, of course, we certainly shouldn't be forgetting the men, who are all dressed in their finest, but we really do need to discuss Prince William. He looked absolutely gorgeous, and so much like his grandfather, Prince Philip. He is wearing the uniform, the Windsor uniform that male members of the royal family wear when they are entertaining inside the castle. But he looks so much like his granddad in so many ways, and I do think he has a lot of his grandfather's personality in him. One being, which I'm also very thankful for, is I do not believe he will suffer fools. But anyway, let's move away from that. Let's not bring down the vibe, because I'm in a very, very good mood, and let's talk about the First Lady's dress. Now, she looks incredible in yellow. That is definitely her colour. I love yellow. Yellow does not love me. Melania looked absolutely beautiful in that bright colour. Clashed slightly with the Queen. We didn't have the coordination like we've had with other state visits. But the dress, I loved. Her hair, I loved. Those earrings, wow. I mean, I'm a bit of a magpie, and they are incredible. They look beautiful on her. Didn't, however, my one thing, don't come for me, I didn't like the belt. Now, I did throw it to a few people on Twitter as well, and some people, quite a lot of people, agreed with me. We tried to mix it up and to change the colour of the belt as best I could. I'm not very good with AI and stuff or photo editing, but I actually took the belt off completely, and I think the dress, that colour and those earrings were enough. I think it would have carried it just by itself. She still definitely looked lovely, but the belt for me just kind of, I think it just took away from the overall stunningness of that dress. She's a very, very beautiful woman. Now, as for the banquets, they always look incredible. It doesn't matter which palace or which castle they are holding them in. They are spectacular. The amount of work that the staff put into every single tiny detail, every single place setting, every tiny flower is probably measured into precision. I mean, it is incredible. Nobody quite does it like the British royal family when it comes to huge, big dinners like this. It is really something to behold. And President Trump, he gave a speech which we were expecting, but I wasn't expecting him to be quite as lovely as he was.
I just want to say that His Majesty has also raised a remarkable son in His Royal Highness Prince of Wales. Really amazing. We've gotten to know you, and I think you're going to have an unbelievable success in the future. Melania and I are delighted to visit again with Prince William and to see Her Royal Highness Princess Catherine, so radiant and so healthy, so beautiful. It's really a great honor. Thank you.
See, I thought that bit about Catherine was genuinely lovely, and I can imagine it made the princess blush as well. I thought it was a really nice thing to say, and I thought he was really nice to the king, saying, you know, you've brought up a really good son, and he's also honouring Prince William. Prince William and Catherine are the future king and queen, and it got twisted. It got twisted straight away, didn't it? Mainstream media. Straight away, you could see the usual suspects. It was going ping, ping, ping on social media. President makes dig at Prince Harry. President intentionally left out Harry. He didn't leave out Harry. William and Catherine are the future of the monarchy. Harry is not the future of the monarchy. He quit. He quit to become a D-list celebrity that we are now seeing, who's about, what, 2 jobs away from hawking stuff on the shopping channel at this rate. He's hawking Disneyland for freebies at the moment. So for anybody to think that he's even on President Trump's radar, Harry is on nobody's radar, except probably his wife and her tracking device that she's no doubt had implanted into him. Now, as for the final day, there were no signs of anybody having sore heads, and Catherine and Melania had a very special joint engagement, and they went to meet with some squirrels. No, not these type of squirrels. These squirrels. These are the youngest and the cutest Scouts club that you can join. So it starts off as a squirrel, and that's age 4 to 6. Then you become a beaver, which is 6 to 8, and then you can go on to join the Scouts. And they look like they had a great time. Melania is just as natural with children as Catherine, and I just thought it was a really sweet engagement, seeing both the women very involved with the kids, very involved with helping them earning their badges. And with Catherine, this is very, very special for her to take Melania to, because she is the joint patron of the Scouts. She shares the joint patronage with with the Duke of Kent. And the kids made Melania a little picture to send her on her way with, which I just thought was cute. It's probably going to be on the fridge door in Air Force One now. Now, that wasn't the only final outing that Melania, the First Lady, had as well, because Queen Camilla also took her for a proper tour behind the scenes at Windsor Castle, the sort of stuff that you and I can't pay to go in. And they had a tour of the library, but one thing that you can actually go see is Queen Mary's dollhouse, which is truly incredible. And the way it's been preserved for the number of years it has is truly mind-blowing. But the Queen and Melania, again, you can just see it seems very natural between the women. They seem very, very relaxed. They obviously had the main photo call, which, you know, Camilla's not a big fan of having her picture taken. But can we just also talk about Melania's outfit here? Head to toe in leather, and she looks amazing. So yes, fashion, absolute fashion salute to the First Lady. She does wear some incredible clothes. But yes, otherwise, what a visit. It was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it was great. They rolled out the red carpet for the President and the First Lady, and it also showcases the UK in a better light. Because of our Prime Minister and his cabinet and the ones before, I'm not making this political, they've damaged us. We're a laughing stock on the worldwide stage for multiple political reasons. And then the UK's royal family, I feel like something like this, they showcase us in a better light. They show our traditions and our history and the things that are good about this country, okay? And that's where I think they have that soft power, that soft diplomacy, and that's why I think they're so important to keep our monarchy as well. So of course, with all this attention being on the royals, everybody found it a little bit strange that we didn't have Harry and Meghan doing any sort of stunts. But of course, Harry is still trying to convince the king that he doesn't actually have a knife behind his back. But that being said, I can't imagine that Harry and Meghan are going to be too happy in the next 24 hours. And I'm sure as we speak, Harry is angrily writing in his favourite crayon to his lawyers, because this evening Spitting Image is back, as are the two puppets that are representing Harry and Meghan, and they've even got Meghan down to a T with her flower sprinkles. So out of all of the people that are going to feature, that you know Spitting Image will take the piss out of, I'm pretty certain it will just be Harry and Meghan that will be firing off the legal letters, because I'd imagine they're going to be very upset that these two puppets will probably show the world that they actually have a higher IQ than the people that they're meant to be imitating. So guys, on that note, before I get my very own legal letter, I will be back with you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.